What's going on, guys? PC here, and welcome to my video response to EdT1138's Top 3 Tuesday, where he asks, what are the top 3 most obscure items in your collection? Now, these items don't necessarily have to be rare or expensive, although they can be. They're more odd or different items, and I have a few items that fit this description. It took me a while to actually find them, but I did find a few, and so here we go. So the first item is Planet Ring for the Sega Dreamcast. This game was given out as a freebie in the official Dreamcast magazine in Europe. It's basically a compilation of mini-games, but what's so unique about this game is that it's an online-only game. And I think it's only one of 2 games on the Dreamcast that required an internet connection. And that's because this is an online multiplayer game only, and it's also one of the few games on the Dreamcast that supported the microphone peripheral, which is interesting. A couple of the games in this, you could actually use voice chat with other players online, which is very cool. One of the games, which is very unique, is a maze type game where you navigate through a maze and you collect things, and one player would actually see an overhead view of the maze where the other player would have kind of an obscured close-up view where you're kind of in the dark. And the player that saw the overhead view would be able to use the Dreamcast microphone to tell you where to go and where the enemies are and how to avoid them. So it's a very unique game, and I think it's definitely one that meets the obscure category. Next up, we have Space Channel 5 Planet Dance: The World's Greatest Club Hits, which is a soundtrack that was given out with pre-orders of Space Channel 5 from certain retailers and also from Sega Direct. And what's so odd and obscure about this item is that none of the music on this soundtrack is actually in the game. In fact, this soundtrack really has nothing to do with Space Channel 5 other than the fact that it says Space Channel 5 on the front and has a picture of Ooh La La. It's kind of a weird and obscure item for that reason, and I think it fits into this list perfectly. So last but not least, we have an item which I think fits the description of obscure more than any other item I've shown you so far, and that is the Sega IR7000 Communicator, which is a PDA or personal digital assistant that was released in 1994 by Sega, but as far as I can tell, it wasn't actually manufactured by Sega themselves. It was manufactured by a company named Casio, who was well known for making PDAs like this, but I guess Sega just wanted to get in on the PDA craze at the time, so they released this device with their name on it. It's your pretty standard PDA with different PDA functions like calculator and contacts and world time and all that type of stuff, but it also had a couple unique features, including the ability to communicate with other IR7000 devices via text message over its infrared wireless, which was an interesting feature. And you could also wirelessly play a multiplayer game called Battle, which is a pretty simplistic game where you basically just press a button, the other player will lose a certain amount of hit points, and the other player will do the same to you until one of you is dead. It's a pretty simplistic game and really not that great, but this is definitely an item which I think is the most obscure item in my collection. So that's it, guys. Those are the most obscure items in my collection. If you feel like answering this question yourself, you can check out EdT1138's original question in the video description below. And as usual, guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please comment, rate, subscribe, and thanks for watching.